When it comes to home insurance, Geico works for you. And since I'm the Geico Gecko, I work for you too.
Hey, Gecko, could you DJ my workout?
I got you, Derek. I know you like them sweet beats on leg day. Great home gym, by the way.
That's fire, Gecko.
I call this remix, bundle your home and car insurance so you can save and get coverage that grows with you.
Oh yeah, rolls right off the tongue. And you know what else I like?
Air horn.
Oh yeah!
Let Geico work for you. Get more with Geico.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The True Crime Society podcast contains adult themes and violence and is not intended for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. And if you'd like to skip the intro or move to any specific part of the podcast, please refer to the timestamps listed in the episode description. Thank you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the True Crime Society podcast with Stephanie and Olivia. It is September 4th right now, so this one is a little bit more prompt than some of the other ones. We still have some back-recorded ones that we're going to be putting out, so we're like all over the place with dates, but this one should be pretty timely.
You have to say why, though, because I think you haven't made the announcement here.
I was going to say, because I gave birth. Baby Jack is here. I gave birth on August 14th. It's crazy. 3 weeks ago. We did an episode for Patreon talking about like the whole birth story and how everything went, if you're interested in hearing about it. But yeah, I gave birth. It was an experience. I don't know how much detail I want to go on here, but it was just regular delivery. Started just having contractions on my way home from work on that Thursday, which is funny because I was thinking about how much I didn't want to go to work the next day. And baby Jack was like, girl, I got you. I'm coming. So went into labor overnight, got an epidural. Thank fucking God, because honestly, contraction pains are no joke. It was so painful. But once I got the epidural, it was amazing, game changer. Push for 2 hours and baby Jack was here. So this is my first time recording. Well, besides today is my first day recording as a mom, being back at it. So just like bear with me if I seem stupid. I'm very tired. I know I've been saying this for months. Like, bear with me. I'm pregnant and suffering. Now bear with me because I have a 3-week-old baby. Yeah, my brain feels so dumb. I'm running on very little sleep, but it's all worth it in the end. Like, I love him so much. He's the cutest little precious baby angel. Love him. In other good news, Olivia finally got her accounts back.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to talk about that.
Yeah. So they have, I think I got them back on like, what even month is it? I think like around the 16th of August. So was it just after you had the baby? Anyway, around the time you had the baby. But the way I had to get them back was go through the small business ombudsman. The meta bullshit is still going on. Like, I've seen so many people losing their accounts. It seems to be mainly Instagram now. I still am nervous about it. Like, the meta admitted that they were in the wrong. They're like, sorry, yeah, we have reviewed your ban and we were wrong. Here's your accounts back. My Facebook account is still restricted, which I don't even know why it says. It's totally fine, but I can't do any group admin stuff. But at this point, I'm just like, whatever, just leave me alone. Please just leave me alone. But I know this is going, like, I've been speaking to a lady in Melbourne who owns like a millinery hat business and all her accounts are gone. So I told her about the small business ombudsman route, which hopefully she'll get onto, but it's still going on. But my accounts are back for now. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they stay back. So that was one of the main things that I've been carrying on with for a little while. It's just a nightmare. But yeah, other than that, just been, I feel like I haven't done, we've had time off and I feel like I had all these plans to get all these things done and I just haven't done anything. So yeah, I went on a 90s cruise, which was fun for 3 days. We just went out. The second night, the swells were so rough. Like I honestly thought we kept hitting things. Like the boat was going like up and down like a roller coaster. I've been on I think 4 cruises and I've never ever had swells like that. It was wild, but it was good. The weather was lovely. It's now spring here too. We're like 5 days into spring. So that is an exciting thing.
I was wondering with your cruise, because I was editing the episode when you were talking about going on it and you were also talking about how it's winter. Was it like cold out?
Sorry, I was just having a Pepsi Max. Yeah, it was cold. Like in the sun, it was quite nice. But the thing is too, it was very windy. So when we found some spots, like it was too windy for them even to put the sunbeds out, like for us to lay in the sun. If we could have just lay in the sun, it would have been lovely. But they said it was too windy. So if we found some spots on the ship that were sheltered from the wind, the sun was still warm. Like I think it was around like 17 or 18 degrees, which is probably high 60s maybe, or maybe close-ish to 70. So it was like there were people in the pools. I did not get in the pool. It was cold. Like it wasn't it was sunny, but it wasn't like a warm cruise. But it was better.
Yeah.
Last year when we did the same cruise, the weather was so bad. It rained, I think, most of the time. And it was super windy and stuff. But this time we got to go pretty far north before they turn around, because literally on this cruise you don't get off the boat. It's a cruise to nowhere. They just go off around the coast and they kind of head where the weather is best. So yeah, we went north, which means it was a little bit warmer. So yeah, it was nice. I would have preferred a summer cruise, but I guess here, summer is peak time, so that's when they do the longer and more expensive cruises. So there was 26 of us, so it was a lot. It was a big few days, but it was really really good fun. It always is. But I think now I'm cruised out for at least another year.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise, so
they are enjoyable. Like this is a party cruise. Like I've been on longer cruises with my family, which are more relaxing. This is not relaxing. This is like go. You're busy all day doing stuff like trivia, and they do like game shows and stuff like that. So it's like you would go you pack as much in a short time as you can, and then you get off, which is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, it was good. But I just wanted to say something funny today. So, because I'm back on Facebook for now, I was scrolling and someone in our local neighborhood group made this post today, which I just thought, this isn't what I expected to see today. Could anyone out there provide a home for 2 young rescued emus? Please call me. I'm like,
what a big ask.
Who is rescuing emus? I've never I have seen emus in the wild, not around here. So I'm like, how do these people even rescue these emus? Where do they get them from?
Who just has like a setup? Like I have a yard.
Yeah, where I live, we like there's a lot of acreages, so people do have horses and things like that. So maybe some people
so I guess that would make sense.
A more fenced in area. But I'm like, wow, I didn't expect to see that.
What do they even eat? Hey,
I have no idea.
Lettuce.
I assume just like grass and bugs and stuff, because I don't know. I'm Googling now. What do emus eat? Plants, leaves, grasses, seeds, and insects and other small animals.
Perfect. Sounds like a turkey.
Yeah, I'll have to go and read the comments later. I haven't had a chance, but I can imagine the comments would be gold.
Yeah, right. You have to update me on what it says.
So as we mentioned earlier, we have been kind of pre-recording, just trying to get a backlog of episodes so that Stephanie could have some time with the baby. We will be still doing that over the next couple of weeks, but by kind of like mid-October-ish, we should be pretty back to normal, back on our usual schedule.
Back to live.
We have locked into our schedule for next year, so nothing much will be changing. We'll still be releasing weekly as we have been, with maybe like a week off here and there, like for Christmas and different things like that. But generally exactly the same. If you're wondering what our plans are, they are our plans. It's so weird. I can't even believe it's already September and we have to lock in.
I feel like it was just January.
I know. Even like I got my first invitation the other day to a Christmas party. I'm like, it's September. What is going on?
I started saving like money for Christmas because I was like, maybe I should. I mean, like with that baby, I feel like I need to like manage my money a little more responsibly.
Yeah. You've probably got a few years before he realizes that he's only getting one present.
True. Be like, here's the paper from my present.
Here's the box.
Yeah.
We will be getting back to normal. It's so hard for me to even remember what we've spoken about in other episodes, but we are.
I know when I'm editing now, I'm like, ooh, a surprise. I don't remember talking about this.
We do have another listener of the week. This is Paulina. She commented on our most recent episode, which will be a little bit off by the time we probably release this, but it was about the Australian dismemberment cases of Tamika Chesser and Jessica Camilleri. Paulina wrote, had a rough day. You girls always help me with my anxiety. It's a mixture of the voices, the initial banter, and just the overall good vibes. Can't wait for baby, so she'll be excited to hear this one. Sending good vibes. Much love from Mexico. So thank you. We have had so many nice messages, and people are like, is there any news? Everyone's very invested.
I know, it's so funny because I'm just like, me?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I'm glad that so many people can like relate to some of the dumb things I say that and care about both of us and want to know what's going on in our lives. So we appreciate you all so much.
It's funny because in the last episode I spoke about, I think, the Spotify playlist, the Australian one that was really good. And I've had so many people message me like, I hope Silverchair's in it. I love the Veronicas. I'm like, oh, I forgot we even spoke about that. It was funny.
I know, I saw the comments and I was going to remind you and be like, if you don't remember what people are talking about, you were talking about this Australian playlist. Because that one, I think it was the one that just came out.
Yeah, it was,
I think. The one I edited. We recorded that one in the end of July.
What was it?
It was like the last week of July or something.
Either that we've been in a weird time warp at the moment.
I know. I never know what day or time it is anymore because I'm just living on a 3-hour feeding schedule cycle.
Before we get into the show, this episode is brought to you by IQBar, our exclusive snack and hydration sponsor. IQBar is the better-for-you plant protein-based snack made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. All IQBar products are entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners, and a great way to try their products if you're not familiar with them is to purchase the Ultimate Sampler Pack. You get 9 IQBars, 8 IQMIX sticks, and 4 IQJOE sticks. So it gives you a little bit of everything, and you can try a big range of their flavors. So my favorite IQBar product at the moment is the Banana Nut IQBar. I absolutely love it. It tastes like a little treat. For me, it tastes like banana cake, which is one of my favorite cakes. It's kind of moist, dense, tastes like a real little treat, but it's so good for you, and it really keeps me going until I get to my next meal. I highly recommend them.
With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their busy lifestyles with IQBar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler and pack includes all 3.
IQBar has really become part of my daily routine. I keep one of the sampler packs at work. I keep a few IQBars in my car just so if I'm ever on the run and need something quick and easy, something just to get me through, I reach for one of my IQBars, which is such a healthier option than, as opposed to what they usually give in the office, like cookies, sweets, all those types of things. So for me, it's really become a great part of my daily routine.
And right now, IQBar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQBar products, including the sampler pack plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text CRIME to 64,000. Text CRIME to 64,000. That's CRIME to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Okay, well, let's get into it. So today we are going to be talking about a case that happened in July 2025, which is like, this case was crazy, sickening. It's the Devil's Den murders that happened in Arkansas, where the husband and wife, they were hiking with their 2 daughters and they were attacked, and the parents were murdered by this random guy for no reason. It seems like there was a totally random attack. Which I'm just speechless because it's so scary to think that this random guy just attacked this family that was just out hiking.
We have done episodes kind of similar to this, or an episode anyway, where we spoke about random attacks on hiking trails like Rachel Marin, Meredith Emerson, where basically women, and usually, like, I am generalizing, I know, but generally it is women because they're an easier target if they're alone, whereas this is such a brazen attack on essentially 4 people.
That's what I was thinking too.
And one of them being a man. Like it's absolutely, like, we don't know if he kind of stalked them. I don't think he did. From all the news reports, basically this just seems like they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and this guy decided to do it. But it's terrifying that something like this can happen.
I think I've said in like many podcast episodes where I don't want to go out for a walk alone, and even just going places, I feel like if Mike comes with me, I feel a lot safer because I have there's 2 of us now, and I'm also with a man, so I feel like people are less likely to attack. But then you hear stories like this where, like, he attacked essentially 4 people, even though 2 of them are kids, but an adult man and an adult woman. It's very scary to think like someone could still do that.
Yeah.
So this is we didn't say their names. There's Clinton Brink, who is 43, his wife, Cristen Brink, who is 41. They are hiking Devil's Den State Park in Northwest Arkansas with their 9 and 11-year-old daughters. They're named Ariana and Christina, and they're brutally murdered in what appears to be a totally random attack.
Two bodies down here.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt is underway in Arkansas for the man who police say committed a horrific double murder, killing a couple hiking with their young daughters. The man attacked the Brink family on a walking trail in Devil's Den State Park Saturday afternoon, according to police. They say Clinton and Cristen Brink's 7 and 9-year-old daughters managed to get away unharmed and find help.
2 children are there. They advised that their parents were assaulted. One was possibly stabbed.
At first, officers scouring the park thought they heard signs of life.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
10-4, we're hearing them too.
But then they say they made a grisly discovery, finding Clinton and Cristen Brink dead on a trail. Police say the suspect is a white male who was seen driving toward a park exit in a black sedan. This park is thousands of acres of dense vegetation. They made it hard to search for both the victims and the suspect here. And while police don't believe he's in the park anymore, they've closed off all the trails until further notice. Authorities now urging anyone at or near the park that day to check for footage or photos of the suspect. Do you feel less safe here in the park knowing what happened here over the weekend?
I do. We just stayed in the car with the doors locked.
Tonight, a relative telling NBC News the Brink family had just moved to the area 3 weeks ago. Their loved ones releasing a statement saying Clinton and Cristen died heroes, protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice. They will forever live on in all of our hearts. Aaron Gilchrist, NBC News, West Fork, Arkansas.
So that's some background. The Brink family moved from South Dakota to Prairie Grove in Northwest Arkansas just weeks before the murder. Their water was actually connected 2 weeks before their deaths. So they literally just moved there.
Sometimes I just wonder, is your life predestined? I know, obviously, they couldn't have done anything to prevent this, but imagine this series of events where they moved states. They were obviously just going out for a hike to kind of explore the new area, and then for this to happen, it's just an unbelievable.
What are the chances almost?
Yeah, what are the chances?
So some information about Prairie Grove. The population is around 7,000. This little blurb says Prairie Grove, Arkansas is a city in Washington County known for its history, particularly the Battle of Prairie Grove during the Civil War. It's also recognized for its agricultural heritage, charming downtown, and proximity to Northwest Arkansas. The city offers a blend of historical significance, a small town atmosphere, and access to amenities in nearby Fayetteville. So prior to the move, both Clint and Cristen worked in the medical field. Clint worked as a nurse aide and Cristen was a nurse. Clint had been due to start a job as a milk delivery driver, though, and Cristen had been licensed as a nurse in Montana and South Dakota before the family moved. So according to The Sun, Clint has an older daughter from a previous relationship as well, and her name is Brianna. The couple was said to be gentle and outdoorsy by people that knew them. A fellow choir member from their former church told Fox they were outdoorsy people. They loved to take the girls and go do outdoor things and go hiking. They loved every minute of it. So hiking seemed like something they liked to do, even though I don't think it makes a difference. It's not like they were novices to hiking, going out, being safe, probably. The choir member also said that wasn't an unnatural place for them to be. They did tons of stuff like that. She also said that the family had moved to be closer to Clinton's mother. Cristen had said that the move was a new opportunity for the family. He said it was an opportunity to be closer to family, and Clinton's mother lived down there. And it was an opportunity for them. It was an opportunity for them for some change of scenery and to be down by his mom. A former colleague of the couple also spoke about the reason for the move. They said Clint's oldest daughter recently was married, and I know they wanted to be closer to family. They didn't have any family out here in Rapid. The choir member also spoke about Kristen's parenting. They said she had 2 little toddlers when she lived here. I'm 65 years old, and I always stood back and thought, oh, I wish I could have had that patience. They were out in the community. Everybody knew them, with the little kids, and she was involved in moms groups. She remembered that Cristen as the kind of person who gave what she had, even when it wasn't much. She said they didn't have a lot, but she always had an extra hand for somebody else if they needed anything. She touched people's lives just by her softness, and her talent was unbelievable. Her singing was just a real gift. Amy, who is another friend of the family, said that they were wonderful people. Cristen got A's in nursing school while raising babies and taking care of her family. She was involved in volleyball at Miles Community Church, where she graduated with her nursing degree. I love her so much, and it just doesn't seem real. It just seems there should be something I could do to take all this terrible tragedy back. Sadly, they are gone. Obituaries for the couple have been released, and we've learned more about them.
So it's a combined obituary, and basically it says that they shared a marriage that was rooted in faith, laughter, and adventure. They liked kayaking, spending days at theme parks with their kids. It says they were each other's best friend and biggest cheerleader and constant teammate. It also spoke a lot about their faith. So they were very devout, I guess, in their faith. It just goes on to say, about Clinton's history, that he was a certified nursing assistant and a delivery driver, and he was loved by all who met him. He said he often apologized even when it wasn't needed because peace and understanding were more important to him than pride, and that his biggest achievement was his family. And about Cristen, it says that she was a godly woman, and that goes on about her nursing. It says her patients saw her as a beacon of care, and her family knew her as the strong, funny, and deeply loving woman who always showed up for them. It says that she carried her energy and resilience into motherhood, friendships, and marriage, and that she liked singing, crocheting, and needlepoint crafting, but that her husband and her 3 daughters were her world. So they were very family-oriented, it seemed. Were very active in their church community and were kind of well known in their previous communities and had just made the move to this new town to have a fresh start and, like they said, a change of scenery.
Yeah, it's sad because this is probably like a big, exciting move, and look what happened. So the murders occurred on Saturday, July 26, 2025, and this is some information about Devil's Den State Park. Also, like, crazy name
I know.
for State Park.
It's like a creepy name. I know.
Yeah.
It's just what they call
like,
it.
Who was like, yes, Devil's Den, perfect, amazing. Let's call this park that. I never understand with like weird names like that.
Yeah, and when they call really ominous for creepy names. I'm like, who came up with this?
Yeah, like why? So Devil's Den State Park is a 2,500 acre Arkansas state park in Washington County, which is 1,000. What is your measurement?
Hectares.
It's
weird because we use acres here. So I don't know why. I feel like sometimes there's an interchange and then sometimes there's not. So 2,500 acres is 1,000 hectares.
Okay. Near West Fork, Arkansas in the United States, park amenities were built by the Civilian Conservation Corps beginning in 1933. Devil's Den State Park is in Lee Creek Valley in the Boston Mountains, which are the southwestern part of the Ozarks. The park, with an 8-acre CCC-built lake, is open year-round for recreation with trails for hiking, mountain biking, horseback riding. The park also has several picnic areas, a swimming pool, cabins, campsites ranging from modern to private. So it's not like this was like some place with not a lot going on. Like there was a lot to do here. It seems like a lot of people would probably go to this park.
And I had a look at the photos, like just, I'll pop them on the blog too, but just to give you an idea, like there are some cliffs and mountains, like tons of trees. It's not like there was kind of like open fields. Like it is, when they say things like it is a real kind of park where you would be able to be secluded if you wanted to. I'm assuming, like, is that making sense? Like it's not just kind of, it's enormous, a huge, basically state forest type situation.
So a neighbor of the Brinks named Cheyenne Marie told the media that she saw the family leaving their home in the morning of July 26th. Devil's Den was around a 30-minute drive from their home, and Cheyenne said, "We see them Saturday morning leaving their house. They waved at us and our kids went about their day. We were good friends with the neighbors who lived there before, so when they moved in, we wanted to introduce ourselves to them and meet our new neighbors." And she said that their kids had already begun playing together. She said they also had a dog, and so do we, so we bonded over that first. She said, "My boyfriend has had a brief conversation with them. They stated how they moved here from South Dakota. We live in such a good, quiet town. We've not ever had anything happen like this in so long, especially so close to home." So the first call came into Washington County EMS just before 2:30 p.m., and a possible assault was reported. Law enforcement responded to the scene and started to search for a suspect and victims. So according to the police audio, which was obtained by CBS, someone said over the police radio, 2 children are there. They advised that their parents were assaulted. One was possibly stabbed. The parents are missing. Another responder heading toward the scene radioed that they heard yelling, calling for help. By the time authorities reached the family, it was too late. Clinton and Cristen were dead, and at the time, their causes of death were not made public. The audio said, "We found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den trails where I've got 2 bodies." At 8:40 p.m., Arkansas State Police released information about the suspect and the manhunt that was ongoing. They said that the suspect was last seen wearing a long-sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up, dark pants, a dark baseball cap, sunglasses, a black backpack, and fingerless gloves. All of this reminded me of Delphi so much what was happening, because it was like the sketch, the trail, this is what he was wearing, like this like picture of him, of his back. Arkansas State Police said the male suspect was believed to be driving a black 4-door sedan, possibly a Mazda, with tape over the license plate. Investigators asked anyone who was at the park on that day to check any photos or videos that they took for images of the suspect, as well as residents in the surrounding area, to notify ASP if they have access to security in-game camera footage. Thankfully, the children were unhurt and they were taken into the care of their relatives. Unhurt, but probably horribly traumatized.
Yeah.
The Brink and Osgood family said in a statement that Clinton and Cristen died heroes protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice. They will forever live on in all of our hearts. So Cheyenne, their neighbor, spoke about hearing about the murder. She said, "I cried because I honestly couldn't believe it. We had just talked to them, so honestly, it was hard to believe. My heart hurts so bad for their little girls. They didn't deserve this. I couldn't imagine at 9 and 7 watching my parents murdered in front of me."
So Shay Lewis, who's the secretary of the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage and Tourism, said that rangers had stepped up patrols in the Devil's Den area. Shay said, "Our hearts are with the victims' loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. The safety of our visitors and staff is our highest priority, and we are working closely with Arkansas State Police and various law enforcement officials as the investigation continues." So as Stephanie mentioned, they did release both a sketch and a photo of the person they were looking for. The photo is of the person's back. I don't even know who took this photo. I would love to know more about who took it. But basically, he's got like a backpack on, a hat. You can see like he's just standing there. There's not really, I guess you could probably figure out his height. You know,
it's a weird like backpack.
It is weird. So I would still want to know who took this photo. So they released that.
I wonder if it's just like a photo of something else and he was just kind of off to the side and they zoomed in on it. That was like my guess, but
they did release a sketch, which is front on. Now that we know who the person is, which we'll get into, I don't really think the sketch looks like him much. Like,
no.
Maybe.
Except just like the eyes close together part.
Yeah, the eyes are a different shape. The nose, I guess, a little bit similar. But essentially, this could be a sketch of any kind of white Caucasian guy. Yeah. Like, I feel like the sketch looks like someone who's older than this person ends up being. I feel like the sketch probably wasn't very helpful. So the FBI also joined the search for the suspect. So this happened on Saturday, July 26th. On Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, Andrew James McGann, who's 28, was arrested while at a barber shop in Springdale, Arkansas. Springdale is around 30 miles from Devil's Den. There's actually footage of him sitting in the barber shop, which I'll put on the blog too. Yeah. And basically they bust in and arrest him. And like I think there was even an interview.
Imagine being the guy cutting his hair.
I think it was a woman. So there's even and she's like, "Oh my God, this just happened." I remember at the time I was seeing, she's like, "Someone just busted in. I think this is related to the Devil's Den thing." He just was in there getting a haircut, which is so random. And when the police busted in and got him.
I wonder what he was like making small talk about.
Yeah. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder. Major Stacey Rhodes said that Andrew was cooperative during the arrest and that he also admitted to killing Clinton and Cristen. They said that they also matched DNA to his blood and DNA that was found at the scene. Major Rhodes said, "In my 27 years that I've been with the state police, this is probably one of the most heinous that we've had, especially the aspect of just how random it was." Authorities have spoken about how they made the arrest. They said they collected photos and videos from other hikers who didn't witness the attack, but they were on the trails and around the same area at the time. As we mentioned, they released the sketch and the photo that showed the person from behind. They then narrowed down the suspect's vehicle, which had tape over the license plate, using surveillance footage from homes and businesses near Devil's Den. Within an hour of them identifying Andrew as the suspect, they found him at the barber shop and arrested him. So Andrew had recently moved to the area from Oklahoma. He was employed at Donald Elementary in Flower Mound, Texas during the 22 to 23 school year. He was placed on administrative leave in the spring of that year, and he later resigned after the Louisville ISD investigated him for, quote, concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism. Louisville ISD said its internal investigation found no evidence of inappropriate behavior with students. So he had also previously worked as a teacher at Broken Arrow. For some reason, I just feel like Broken Arrow is in the news all the time. For such a smallish place in Oklahoma.
I know.
It's
I hear
always
about
in
Broken Arrow.
Always in Broken Arrow. It's the Bever family case, if anyone remembers that one. That was in Broken Arrow. And I just feel like over the years, there's been a kind of disproportionate amount of cases that come out of there.
Mm-hmm.
He'd worked as a teacher at Broken Arrow Public Schools during the 23 to 24 school year. He'd worked as a 5th grade teacher at Sand Springs Public Schools during the 24 to 25 school year. Broken Arrow School District said that Andrew left of his own accord. A spokesperson said, as with all employees hired by the district, he was subjected to and passed the legally required background checks prior to being hired. Andrew had also been employed by the Plano ISD in Texas for just 4 days in 2024 before he resigned. And this info is from CBS. It says, Andrew held a teaching position in the North Texas district from August 6th to August 9, 2024. He resigned voluntarily before the first day of school on August 13th, and he did not have direct contact with students. So that is a lot of moving around different states, different schools. I have to wonder what is going on. It seems like there was some unusual behavior that was flagged. It's like he's only 28. So for him to have been doing this since 2022, he would have only been mid-20s, probably a newish teacher at that time. It just seems weird that there was all this moving around for whatever reason.
Yeah, I agree.
So he had been hired as a teacher for the upcoming school year in Arkansas. He had not started his employment at the time of the murders. I wonder if that was why he was going to get his haircut, because school was about to start back soonish, and he was getting ready and preparing for the school year.
He wanted to look good.
Yeah. Parents who have had children in Andrew's classes have spoken to the media. A woman named Sierra Markham had a son who Andrew taught. She said, I was shocked and horrified and saddened, but also angry. There were signs that not all was right with Mr. McGann. In August 2022, Andrew introduced himself to families at the Louisville ISD Elementary School in a now deleted Facebook post. And Sierra said her son had expressed discomfort with how Andrew treated female students, claiming he gave them extra treats and kept some in his classroom alone during recess. This is elementary school too, by the way, so young kids.
Creepy.
She said, really, the tipping point for him, I think, was when he overheard Mr. McGann tell one of the little girls, if you are older, I would love to marry you. And that was the day he came home and started crying. So obviously,
I feel like it must be a lot
hearsay, but
for a little kid to notice that too.
Yeah. And I agree. Springdale Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Jared Cleveland said this individual has not at any time come into contact with Springdale students or the families we serve. At this time, we cannot offer any additional information due to the ongoing investigation. So after the arrest, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders made a statement. She said, if you commit a violent, senseless act here in our state, our law enforcement will hunt you down and bring you to justice, because that's what the people of Arkansas frankly deserve. So on July 31st, which I feel like this case happened pretty quickly, they were murdered on the 26th, he was arrested on the 30th. On the 31st, we learned some more about the circumstances surrounding the murders, because obviously we didn't know at that point why the children were spared or how the whole kind of event had gone down. Mm-hmm. It was alleged that Andrew fatally stabbed Clinton first. Cristen somehow took the children to safety and went back to help Clinton. So she took the kids and went back to help her husband, and that's when she was murdered. Major Stacey Rhodes from the Arkansas State Police said she did not return all the way to the car with the kids. We believe that the mother took them to safety and then returned to help her husband. So Cristen was also stabbed to death.
So scary. How do you even make that choice? Stay with your kids, go back and help. I can't even imagine.
And I guess, I can't even imagine the choice that she had to make. And even just leaving the kids, I guess, it's just fight or flight. And it would just be, a momentary, just say, wait here, I'll be back. And it's just horrible.
Yeah.
Investigators stated that there is no known connection between the family and Andrew and that they believe the attack was totally random. Despite him having no criminal record, police have announced that they are investigating the possibility that Andrew has maybe been involved in other crimes, because this does seem like a lot. Like
a crazy first crime.
Like you would think that maybe he's been escalating over the years to murdering 2 people randomly on a trail. Surely this couldn't have been his first
The only
crime.
way I could think it would be a first crime is if he was like on meth or something, like do it on like crazy drugs.
And I know that age, like kind of mid-20s, is the age where a lot of mental illness becomes prevalent in males, like sometimes schizophrenia or something like that is on set around that age. So maybe something like that, but it just seems very unlikely that this would be someone's first ever time, unless, I agree, there's something else behind it. Major Stacey Rhodes said, "I fully expect that other jurisdictions will probably reach out to us to see if there are cases throughout the US that may be connected to him." The Vermont State Police have said they are looking into possible connections between Andrew and the 2023 murder of Honoree Fleming in Castleton in that state. The Vermont State Police said once they heard about the arrest, detectives reached out to their counterparts in Arkansas as part of an ongoing investigation. Honoree was shot and killed on the Delaware and Hudson Rail Trail. Multiple witnesses reported saying that they witnessed the person believed to be in Honoree's death as a young man in his 20s with red hair, standing at 5 feet 10 inches. Witnesses reported that the man was acting odd and that more than one person observed him. So multiple people saw whoever they believe is the suspect in that case. Honoree was shot to death, so a different kind of manner of death, but they don't know if her murder was targeted or random. They did release a sketch of this apparent person. Looks kind of similar to Andrew. Like, again, could be a million people. I feel like it's probably more similar to Andrew than the other sketch was.
Than the other one, yeah.
Online, as we mentioned, so they say that this person was 5'10". Andrew is listed as 6 feet tall, so probably a similar-ish type of...
Close enough.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew's hair I wouldn't describe as red. Like maybe it's more of like slightly strawberry blonde. Like I wouldn't look at him and say he's got red hair. Maybe. Like I guess it could be.
He has like ginger features, but his hair's not actually red.
There is another photo of him where it does look more red. Like you wouldn't look at him and say his hair, it could be more auburn, I guess, more than anything, if you're going to describe it as that. But again, similar enough that maybe it could be him. It's not like they're saying he had black hair or anything like that. It could be. Yeah. So on Monday, August 11th, Andrew pled not guilty to 2 counts of capital murder. He was ordered to be held without bond until his trial starts. That trial is scheduled for November 14 this year, 2025, which seems very soon to me, but that's when it's scheduled for. Prosecutor Brandon Carter asked that Andrew have no contact with the victims' families. He also said that because the prosecution is seeking the death penalty in this case, he expects that the case may take longer than usual to litigate. So whether or not it will go ahead in November, I guess remains to be seen. Like we're now at September, so that's only 2 months away. Will it go ahead? Maybe, I don't know, but there is because we had originally planned to record this before you had the baby, so that was the only update.
We're gonna record the day that I had the baby.
Yeah, so like all I had to find was the updates. The only update is that the trial has been set and that he's basically pleaded not guilty. I did find some interesting stats from the National Crime Survey. They indicate that 46% of violent crimes, including rape, robbery, and assault, were committed by total strangers. 11% were committed by those known to the victim by sight only, so kind of like a stalking type situation maybe, or someone who was, you don't know, just an acquaintance. And 13% were committed by friends, and 8% were committed by relatives. I actually have to say I thought the numbers of crimes committed by people would be higher, but 46% of violent crimes, I guess a lot of the time, it's not always
rape,
murder.
Robbery, and assault, are more likely to be committed by a stranger than murder.
Yeah. Murder by a total stranger is quite unusual, maybe. Like often it's like more of a rage type situation where it's, like a road rage or a
like
female,
especially since there's no fight.
Well, not that we know of anyway. Like we don't know what led up to this. If he literally ambushed them or maybe they said something to him, we don't know. We don't know anything.
Yeah, it's true.
More. And
still
like
don't know any of that.
maybe we will never know if it was unwitnessed. Like I guess the girls might have seen something, but he could say whatever he wants at this point. There's no one to kind of not.
Yeah, sadly, I think they'll have to be the girls that are able to relay that information.
So, as we mentioned, we have done similar episodes to this case before. In 2023, we covered 3 cases where people were killed by random strangers while hiking. They were Rachel Marin, Meredith Emerson, and Lauren Heike. We also did an episode on Judy Smith where she kind of vanished mysteriously and her remains were found in a state park like states away, and she'd been murdered. No one has ever been charged with her murder. While I was researching this case, I did come across another one. It is a little bit older, but it's from 2006, and it's about a woman named Mary Cooper, who was 56, and her daughter Susanna Stodden, who was 27. They were murdered while hiking a remote trail in Snohomish County in Washington State. 20 years later, almost, their case still remains unsolved. As some background into that one, on July 11th, 2006, Mary and Susanna left their home to go for a hike. Mary worked as a librarian, and Susanna was said to have a love of nature. They'd originally planned to explore Mount Pilchuck, but they changed their plans at the last minute due to snow on the trail. So again, this is one of those ones that's just so totally random. Even if someone knew their plans, they changed them. So, totally random. And just for this to happen is totally unpredictable. The only people who knew of their changed plans were some strangers that they told when they reached a trailhead in the area. They decided to hike up to Pinnacle Lake, which was more accessible. Later that day, their bodies were found by other hikers. Both women had been shot in the head. Investigators say it appeared to be a calculated ambush and there were no signs of robbery or sexual assault, which I guess more so they would be the reasons you would think someone would be shot on a hiking trail. In all the other cases like Meredith Emerson, Rachel Marin, they were basically sexually motivated. So you would think, well, like why else would you kill 2 women on a hiking trail unless you want something from them?
Yeah.
Dave Bilyeu, who's a detective with the Snohomish County Sheriff, said it was during the hike that something terrible happened. These witnesses stumbled across the scene and helped report the incident to us and launched the investigation. So even more interestingly, the trailhead where the women were found is remote and difficult to access. It takes 6 miles up a treacherous road to get to the trailhead, so very remote. Like, did they really just come across someone? Was it targeted?
It takes 6 miles of a treacherous hike just to get to the hike.
Yeah, it's crazy. The detective said the investigation occurred on a pristine alpine hiking trail. There were no witnesses. All we have is very little physical evidence left behind to put the puzzle together. They did find shell casings at the scene. They haven't released any information about the gun or any of that to the public. They did also find a partial May DNA profile that was recovered during Susanna's autopsy. But even now, almost 20 years later, that hasn't led to any suspect ever being named or publicly identified. Dave Stodden, who was Mary's husband and Susanna's father, spoke about that day. He said, I probably got home a little bit after 9. It was starting to get dark, and that's when I thought I better figure out where they were. He said he went home after he couldn't track them down, and that's where the detectives met him there, and they told him that his wife and daughter were dead. Obviously, and not unexpectedly, Dave was a suspect in the investigation. He's since passed multiple polygraph tests, has confirmed alibi, and he was cleared as a suspect. The detective said he took his 3rd polygraph and he passed that. My office made a public statement and he's no longer a suspect. So Dave has also spoken about his daughter. He said while he was crying, Susanna will always be 27 years old. As we mentioned, this happened in 2006. In May 2025, the detective spoke to King 5 News. He said, we have some science that we are going to re-examine some things that were never tested. We may lose time to prosecute somebody. We may lose time to put someone away in prison, but we will never lose the time to tell a family the answers they've been seeking. So I feel like, again, it's just so terrifying that you can be on such a remote trailhead that is miles and miles away from anywhere, that still someone can come across you and murder you for apparently no reason besides wanting to kill someone.
Yeah, it's scary. And I forgot what I was going to say.
It goes to show you that no matter how prepared you are, obviously the Brink family were pretty experienced hikers, it seems. They did and they obviously had their 2 young children with them. So they probably weren't planning to do a strenuous hike. Literally, I've done similar hikes with my kids where we call them bushwalks. You just go out for, a few hours on the trail, something easy enough just to get some exercise, some fresh air, spend time as a family. That's probably all they were planning to do. And then for still somehow this man to come across them is just terrifying. You really, really never know. You can be as prepared as you go in a group. Even like we always say, like it's sad that women can't hike alone. In this case, there was 4 family members, including a male. It just shows you sometimes there is literally nothing you can do about the situation that you end up in.
Yeah, that's why it's scary, because even it's like, what advice can you have for someone to protect themselves? Like, be aware of your surroundings. That wouldn't have really helped them. Like, besides carrying like some sort of weapon on you, but like not everyone feels comfortable doing that. Plus, as a girl, if you have like a knife or something on you, the person can overpower you and take it away and use it against you, really.
Like, and Andrew was apparently 6 foot. I don't know how tall Clinton was. Obviously, Cristen was probably smaller than that. But it's one of those things. There was no way. I feel like there was no way. This Andrew, for whatever reason, was out to kill someone that day, and he succeeded. Like, this is truly psychopathic behavior, it seems.
And it's just like, it's bad luck. Like,
yep.
That's the only thing is.
And if it wasn't them, it would have been someone else on the trail that day. It would have, it seems like even if there was some fight and he snapped, like, would you really kill someone? Wouldn't you just, I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more at the trial. Obviously, hopefully we will learn more at the trial. But it just seems like his motive that day was to murder some totally random person.
Yeah, it's just like you have to go about life hoping that you don't cross paths by chance with someone like this.
Yeah.
Which is scary. Even now that I have a baby, like, they say like, oh, it's nice to like go out and go on walks, especially like trying to get more steps in, stuff like that. But there's rail trails around me that are like bike paths through the woods and stuff, and they're probably generally safe, but like I don't want to go by myself, especially with a baby that like makes you more easy to attack, like more vulnerable. Like I'm lucky enough to live pretty close to the school where I could go to the track there if I wanted to. I feel like that would be pretty safe, but it sucks to have like all these trails around me, but I just don't even feel safe going to them.
And even in this case, like I was just thinking about it while you were talking, I'm assuming he killed Clinton first because he was the main threat. So, but then like I wonder if he went after Cristen and then she kind of hid the kids. I don't know. Like I
know, like what happened?
Yeah, because otherwise I'm assuming if he went for Cristen first, Clinton probably would have been more able to fight back. And I know I'm generalizing, but men are generally bigger and, have a bit more, body stature on a woman generally. And it was in this case, like I've seen photos of them. Cristen was the smaller person. So maybe that's why he went for Clinton first. I don't know. But
I wonder if he said anything to them, or did he just like come out attacking from, was he hiding? Was he just standing there? Like, I really want to know what happened, because it's so scary. Like,
it does sound like she had some time to get the kids away. Like, so he didn't kill the kids for whatever reason, if that's because she was able to get them far enough away, or I don't know, whatever the reasoning was, but she had time to get them away. So I wonder if
he just jumped down and started attacking.
Yeah. And
the
so
guy.
She's like, yeah, I still like, I don't know if I'm shocked that she went back. Like, I understand wanting to help your husband, but I feel like, I don't know, my priority would be the children. Maybe, I don't know. Obviously you don't know how you're going to react.
Maybe it started as an argument.
Yeah.
Like you said, like maybe she walked the kids away while they were arguing.
And then when she came back, he'd been stabbed. And then he came after her.
I feel horrible for the kids, like just thinking about what they went through.
Even just like, I don't know what they saw. Like, obviously they saw something, because I'm assuming they saw something, but even just imagine the confusion, like, how do I get home? Like just as little kids who don't
like having to look for help,
wait for someone to come and help them, like wait for family members to come, and both your parents are deceased.
They must have seen something, because it seems like they told whoever called that their parents were attacked.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very, very sad.
Horrible. But that's really it for the case so far. Hopefully we'll hear some more information about what happened as this progresses. So we'll definitely post any updates once we hear of them, and we'll talk about it in another episode if we get any more information. So we'll keep you guys posted.
One thing I do, just quickly to add, sorry, just my last final thought, is sometimes when like a suspect is identified, people will say, wow, I was so shocked. Like, I never thought he would do something like this. I haven't seen anything like that for Andrew. All the things that have come out have been that he was creepy and
kind of weird.
Yeah, like not that anyone ever suspected that he would do something like this, but that he was weird and he had this weird employment history for whatever reason. So it's just interesting that there's been no one to come out and say, wow, I'm so shocked. I haven't seen that anywhere for this one.
Yeah, he seems like a weirdo.
Yeah.
So that's it for this episode. Everything will be on the blog at truecrimesocietyblog.com. And make sure you're following us on Instagram. We'll post any updates there as they come out. At True Crime Society, we also just post all different cases that are happening throughout the day. If you want to follow my personal account, mine's Steph_. Olivia has hers back. She is TCS Olivia, so you can all go back and follow her now. She's back in action, hopefully forever. What else? Oh, Patreon. If you want more content from us, make sure you check out our Patreon. We have like over 100 bonus episodes now that you would have access to. We do weekly bonus episodes, so you'd get 2 episodes a week plus no ads on any of the episodes. And we put out the main episode a day earlier, so you'd get that before everyone else. Plus, we just have some fun chats on Patreon, like we were just talking about that unknown number high school Netflix documentary on there with I'm not going to spoil it, but it's fucking insane. So we've been talking about that. We have like a book club chat. We just talked about our birth stories for a bonus Patreon episode. So I went into all the details about giving birth, which is, who doesn't want to hear about that? So yeah, check us out on Patreon. Otherwise, all the usual stuff. Leave us some nice Spotify comments. We love seeing what you guys have to say about the episodes. Share the podcast like on Instagram to your stories, what you guys are doing while you're listening to the podcast. We love seeing what everyone is up to. We love resharing them. See your hobbies, your pets, your jobs, whatever. It's fun to see what everyone does while they're listening. So that's that. Give us some nice comments, nice reviews, shares, all that. That is it. So thank you guys for listening. Stay safe out there. Peace out.
See ya.